Buying a home in 2026 is looking very different than it did just a couple of years ago. After one of the hottest housing markets in American history, many cities are finally beginning to cool off. Inventory is rising, homes are staying on the market longer, price cuts are becoming more common, and buyers are starting to regain some negotiating power. According to Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, and several regional housing reports, the national housing market is expected to remain relatively stable through 2026. But real estate has always been local, and not every market is following the same path. Some cities continue to see strong demand and limited inventory. Others, however, are showing clear signs of slowing momentum after years of rapid appreciation. Rising insurance costs, affordability challenges, population shifts, and an increasing number of homes for sale are putting pressure on prices in certain markets. Now, before we begin, a cooling market doesn't necessarily mean prices will crash. In many cases, it simply means buyers have more choices, sellers have less leverage, and bidding wars become less common. Many of these cities are still excellent places to live and invest for the long term. Today on the Housing Brief, we're counting down the 10 housing markets most likely to cool down in 2026. Let's get started. Number 10. Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville experienced explosive growth during the pandemic as remote workers and new businesses poured into the region. Home prices climbed rapidly, but the market is beginning to normalize. Inventory has increased considerably compared to recent years, giving buyers more options than they've had since before 2020. Homes are also taking longer to sell, and price reductions have become much more common. While Nashville still enjoys a healthy job market and population growth, affordability has become a growing concern. Buyers today are much more selective, making it difficult for sellers to command the aggressive prices seen just a few years ago. Expect Nashville to remain a desirable city, but one where price growth slows significantly. Number 9. Boise, Idaho. Boise became one of America's biggest housing success stories during the pandemic. Unfortunately, that incredible appreciation also pushed affordability to its limits. Today, buyer demand has cooled, inventory has improved, and homes are spending more time on the market. Zillow and Realtor.com both continue to identify Boise as one of the markets that has shifted from the intense seller's market conditions seen in previous years. Boise still benefits from strong quality of life and outdoor recreation, but buyers now have far more negotiating power than they did during the market frenzy. Number 8. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix remains one of the nation's fastest-growing metro areas, but its housing market has clearly shifted. After years of rapid appreciation, inventory has steadily increased while demand has become more balanced. Builders have also added significant new housing supply across the metro area, giving buyers additional choices. Higher mortgage rates combined with elevated home prices have reduced affordability, leading many buyers to negotiate more aggressively. Instead of bidding wars, many sellers are now offering concessions such as closing cost assistance or mortgage rate buydowns. Number 7. Tampa, Florida. Florida has been one of the biggest migration winners over the past several years, but Tampa is beginning to face new headwinds. Insurance premiums continue to rise, property taxes remain a concern for many homeowners, and affordability has become increasingly difficult for first-time buyers. Inventory has grown substantially compared to the pandemic years, and homes are staying on the market longer. Although Tampa remains one of Florida's strongest metro areas, price appreciation is expected to slow considerably as supply catches up with demand. Number 6. Denver, Colorado. Denver has transitioned into a much more balanced housing market. Higher borrowing costs have reduced buyer demand, while inventory continues to improve. Homes are no longer selling within days like they were just a few years ago. Many sellers are reducing prices after listing, and buyers now have greater leverage during negotiations. Denver's long-term fundamentals remain solid thanks to its strong economy and educated workforce. But 2026 is shaping up to be a much calmer market than recent years. Number 5. Dallas, Texas. The Dallas metro continues to attract businesses and new residents, but it also has one of the largest construction pipelines in the country. Thousands of new homes and apartments have entered the market, increasing inventory and reducing some of the supply shortages that fueled rapid price growth. As more homes become available, buyers are gaining negotiating power. Builders are also offering significant incentives to move inventory, something that was nearly unheard of during the pandemic housing boom. Number 4. Austin, Texas. Austin experienced one of the largest home price increases in America between 2020 and 2022. Since then, the market has undergone a noticeable correction. Inventory remains much higher than pandemic lows, homes are taking longer to sell, and price growth has slowed dramatically. Many buyers who previously felt priced out are finding better opportunities, while sellers are becoming more realistic about pricing. Austin continues to benefit from a booming technology sector, but the housing market appears much healthier and more balanced heading into 2026. Number 3. Cape Coral, Florida. Cape Coral has become one of the most closely watched housing markets in the country. Inventory has risen sharply, while affordability challenges continue to weigh on buyer demand. Insurance costs have increased substantially throughout Southwest Florida, adding another layer of expense for homeowners. Price reductions have become much more common, and homes are spending significantly longer on the market compared to just a few years ago. While the area remains attractive for retirees and second home buyers, market conditions clearly favor buyers much more than sellers. Number 2. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans continues to face several unique challenges. Higher insurance costs, population trends, affordability concerns, and slower economic growth have all contributed to softer housing demand. Inventory has increased while buyers have become increasingly cautious. Many sellers are adjusting expectations through price reductions or offering concessions to attract offers. Although New Orleans has a unique culture and history unlike anywhere else, its housing market is expected to remain relatively soft throughout 2026. Number 1. Punta Gorda, Florida. Taking the top spot is Punta Gorda. According to multiple housing market analyses from Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, and other industry experts, Punta Gorda is one of the markets showing the strongest signs of cooling. Inventory has climbed substantially, homes are sitting on the market much longer, and price reductions have become increasingly common. Like much of coastal Florida, rising insurance premiums and affordability concerns have reduced buyer demand. For buyers, however, this creates opportunity. Negotiating power has shifted significantly compared to the highly competitive pandemic market. If current trends continue, Punta Gorda could become one of the strongest buyers markets in the country during 2026. So, there you have it. The 10 housing markets most likely to cool down in 2026. The biggest takeaway isn't that these markets are bad places to live. In fact, many of them have strong economies, beautiful communities, and excellent long-term potential. What we're seeing is something much healthier, a housing market that's beginning to return to balance. More homes are becoming available, buyers have more choices, and sellers are finding they can no longer expect multiple offers within days of listing. If you're planning to buy a home this year, don't focus only on national headlines. Pay close attention to what's happening in your local market, because real estate has always been local. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Housing Brief, where we break down housing market trends, real estate news, cost of living rankings, and the latest economic data to help you make smarter buying, selling, and investing decisions. And let us know down in the comments, which housing market do you think is cooling the fastest in 2026? In our next video, we're looking at the housing markets with the biggest inventory growth in 2026 and why buyers finally have more negotiating power than they've had in years. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching the Housing Brief, and I'll see you in the next one.